Hey y'all, you're listening to Diagnosing Sitcoms and Movies, the DSM podcast. We help make mental health more comfortable by using Black movies and shows we know and love and culture to remove stigma. So join our convo with your host, Courtney Copeland, licensed mental health counselor,
and Dr. B, licensed professional counselor.
Hey y'all, if you would like to improve the sound quality of your visuals and content, try Boxed Up. You can visit their website at tryboxedup.com or their Instagram page at tryboxedup. What's poppin', everybody? This episode, we're going to be talking about the 1997 drama, in my mind, a little bit of comedy.
Wow.
I laughed. But we're going to be talking about soul food. I'm excited.
Okay, can you explain? I mean, it did say it was a drama, comedy, a drom-com, whatever you want to call them. When the sisters were fighting, is that where you laughed?
From the very beginning. Big Mama said, get your black ass out here now.
I mean, okay, yeah, you do have a point.
Everybody's happy. We'd be even more happy if we go out there and beat that hoe down. You're pregnant, Vivica Fox. You should not be beating any hoes down. You have to think about the baby.
I mean, she's about that life. You always need that one sister that's ready to fight no matter what.
Not if she's pregnant. I need somebody to take over.
Nope. Them the ones that you really need to be afraid of.
I mean, Terri was bougie, but Terri was with it. She went out there like she was ready to knuck a few bucks.
I mean, Terri also grabbed a knife.
Terri did grab a knife. Terri did drag Vivica Fox out the car too.
It did.
Now.
I mean, having Terri as an older sister, I would then be inclined to have to beat bitches' asses too. Because I had to beat her ass because she always beat my ass. And now I'm going to beat everybody else's ass because I'm getting my ass beat. So there's that.
And I know it's not supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be funny at all.
No, we're not.
But fuck the family. I let the family in my house. And you know what? The family fucked my husband. Yeah,
Ooh.
They fucked my husband.
Fuck the family. I let the family in my house. You know what? The family fucked my husband. Yeah, Faith fucked my husband.
That was, oof, man.
Can we talk about what? Fuck you.
Girl, pick that knife up quick. Wait, so I did know that they said that was like an impromptu like type of scene where they find out. Yeah. So everybody's reaction is a real reaction to them finding out that Terri and Miles fucked, right? And so I'm wondering if the knife part is also the natural reaction because it does seem kind of like, whoa. Shit was going crazy, but this really went crazy. I didn't see it coming. So I wonder if that's the case. If you know, give us a call. Let us know. Where are they calling us, Courtney? Send us an email. I don't know.
Yeah, send us an email, comment.
DM, you know. What do I think this is? 1997 where people call.
He's still in Martin mode. You thinking we at the radio station.
I am, right. That's right. We're not a radio station. We are a podcast. Call in.
Call me now. I feel like it's clear now.
Right. Call me now.
But did you have any other quotes from this movie that stuck out to you?
Okay. I kind of feel like I'm on the spot because I have a few that that I feel like I should remember off the top of my head. So I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, I got one.
Just a second. Okay, go ahead.
One finger won't make an impact, but you ball all those fingers into a fist and you could strike a mighty blow. This family got to be that fist.
Did you know?
Big Mama, what?
Girl, did you know it took them 8 times to film that particular scene? They were so annoyed. I don't, because of this. What came out? What was the end result? They're like, they said they got tired of eating the food over and over again. Yeah, before those 8 to 9 different takes. It did. So they also hired a special chef to actually make the food taste as good as it looked. So
I would hope so, but I was concerned because it didn't look like they had no meat in their greens.
She said hog mugs. Why we gotta have the hog mugs in there?
But when I don't know, maybe that was after Big Mama died.
Oh, because she struggled. She struggled for real.
So if and technically, I don't even know if we can do this for copyright issues, but I do feel that the best synopsis of of the film Soul Food is done by Riley from the Boondocks. So I would like for him to give his full, just informational on exactly what happened and what was the overall plot of the film. Allow me to share that with you quickly.
Soul Food is a movie about a big, humongous black grandmother, aptly named Big Mama. Big Mama demonstrates her love by feeding herself and her offspring enormous amounts of pig lard. Then, get this, Big Mama's arteries are so clogged, they gotta amputate her arm.
It was her leg.
Right, okay, whatever, leg. Then, she dies of a heart attack. Or another stroke, or something.
God called her home.
And what does the family do after she dies? They get together for a Sunday dinner and eat the same food that just killed Big Mama. The same food. They didn't learn a lesson. Nobody went on a diet, and that's the end of the movie.
So I get it now that I've watched the movie again. And it's funny because that's exactly what the premise of the movie is. Because, well, you did see this one little part. I will say they had a home garden. So it was food and the greens and the tomatoes were coming from their garden. They was tending it together at the end. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, it took the whole kitchen to explode in order for that to happen and Big Mama to die first. But, I guess a lesson eventually was learned. But, I mean, when Maxine asked, told Big Mama, you haven't been watching what you eat. Bitch, you have been watching her eat. You're eating the same thing that she is.
Okay.
You know she diabetic and you come over the house and cook this food with her each week.
Right. And then, I'm sure there has to be leftovers. So Big Mama probably having that 2 or 3 other times throughout the day.
Her Uncle Pete.
Right. You want the leftovers? Shit. Yes. I ain't gonna say no to those Thanksgiving leftovers every week. Yeah. Hell yeah, I'm gonna eat it.
Nobody's cutting my leg off, and that's that.
Girl, I was like, damn.
There's no other context for those words to be assembled in that order.
In that order. I don't know. I have my quote, random as fuck. My quote. So you remember when Lim lost his job and he went to Kenny and he said, believe me, you don't want to tell a black woman. He said, you don't want to tell a woman, a black woman, then she ain't got no job.
You ain't got no J-O-O-B.
I was like, damn, they do got a point right there. A woman could lay around the house, but ain't no man gonna be able to lay around the house. They were speaking some true facts right there. I ain't gonna even lie. I mean, especially
cut the grass. You better go do something.
And even still, with doing the grass, put the caps on, whatever, just take the trash out. You still gonna be considered a trifling motherfucker. I'm sorry, they didn't say
because somebody else's grass makes somebody something. So, were you aware that this film was also set in Chicago?
I was. And actually, I saw the skyline. They didn't have the Sears Tower, one of them towers, in the background. Sears, Willis.
I thought I saw it when they was walking. Okay.
Well, when they were walking, but at the beginning, when they kind of come and like go into like people going into the wedding, I was like, that's Chicago. Then I didn't see the Willis Tower or the Sears Tower. So I was like, oh wait, maybe it's not. But then I remember.
You didn't know it was set in Chicago before this?
I didn't know originally, but now
Okay.
I was like, before moving here, no, I did not know it was set in Chicago. No, I looked for certain landmarks.
I mean, I'm sure that helps. You've been to these places now.
Right. And also, she was Vanessa or Vivica Fox, one of them hoes.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow, not our black cinematic royalty. One of them hoes.
I think it was Vivica Fox. She was doing a movie also at the same time. I think it was Hustlers or Hoodlums.
Say Hustlers? What?
Hustlers? Girl, go to sleep. Go lay down.
Okay, one of them hoes was doing something. What happened?
And they were filming at the same time in Chicago, which is why they have it here, because she was actually filming at the same time, doing something else on the side.
They must really want you to be a part of that movie. They move their whole set just to appease your schedule. That's boss moves right there.
I guess. She was she was pretty important back then. I mean,
all of them was.
This
right was now. A great cast. Like we have Vivica Fox and Vanessa Williams and Nia Long and Mekhi Phifer and just that's a star.
And the list goes on.
Right? Michael Beach, who I feel like was the same age for a very long time and then just all of a sudden aged like real fast.
Right. What happened? He had so many films like between 95 and 97 that he kind of had his little moments in. So,
but he looked the same in Lean On Me, and that was like what, 89?
I know, he was in Space Jam too. Like, look, you never age. But yeah,
I think we're talking about two different people. But okay,
are we?
You're talking about the little boy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Brandon Hammond. But yeah, okay. Yeah, your point to him, yes, facts. He did a lot of movies all at one time where he was about the same age.
Why am I here? Oh my God.
It's okay though. Great points were made.
Thank you so much. That's why I love you. And I'm always going to support you because you always support me and my dumb shit.
Speaking of stars, though, the movie was produced by Babyface. Well, he was one of the producers, and then also had the group Milestone in the actual movie, and they were singing with his brothers and Casey and JoJo, and I love that part. And I think the character's name was Miles because the group name was Milestone. She said the group name is Milestone. It ain't them,
right? I was like, them stones.
Wow.
Okay.
But then I was like, dang, that made it seem like the with Babyface being one of the producers, it helped make the soundtrack so awesome because that Milestone song was such a big hit. And it also sounds like what Miles' character was basically saying to Terri at that, girl, I care about you. I'm there for you. So why don't you care about me like I care about you? Sometimes I'm not sure that I'm all you got. Sometimes I'm not sure you love me. You love me. Yeah. There's one thing that I'm certain of that I care for you. And the one thing that I want is that you care for me too.
Not the lyrics.
I said, that's just how Miles feel.
He did feel that way. And then here come this little fresh hot tail girl coming in there showing him some care. And that was that.
I feel like cousin Faith daddy had to be Dominican or something because I know an Afro Latino when I see one. And
yeah. Well,
it was Rican or something. What do y'all have in Chicago? Because like in Buffalo, we don't have a lot of Dominicans. We have a lot of Puerto Ricans.
We have a lot of Mexicans, okay? Mexican Independence Day, baby. They was out.
That just passed too.
Yeah. Okay. Gridlock, so many different spots in downtown Chicago. They was like, it was lit. I was not okay. I wanted to go home and I could not go home. for 2 hours. I sat in traffic for 2 hours.
It's a fiesta. You're supposed to get out the car and start with them.
I didn't want to do it. I wanted to go home. Anyway.
Yeah. So food.
I couldn't write soul food. I can stand her and her little stupid bebop way she walks in and walks out of places. She had a stupid doofy walk. But other than that, she was like, did you ever see how she just walk? Like, I ain't walking into the kitchen like this. Because I'm here to fuck shit up. Right. That's how you walk into places when you know you're about to fuck shit up.
Terri told her, hey, don't start no shit this time. Just watch.
Here's me on my way to start some shit. Backpack. That was her. On her way to fuck shit up. I love it. Apparently, they were supposed to have some more scenes with her and Miles, but they decided to cut it out for the sake of time.
I mean, we got the point.
I think so. That was a pretty hot and heavy sex scene. It was kind of weird.
It was. Maybe I'm just a prude, but I feel like I take more revving than that. Like they just walked in and
like it was just maybe the purpose of that was to show that they both wanted it.
The sexual tension was just too much to
Yeah, he had to excuse himself to the studio. Whatever.
They lived in Chicago and they had a studio on their roof. They was paid.
Yes, they were. At that time, that house cost like $5 million. You know what that would cost right now? I don't know.
I have to say, I don't.
I don't know. No, okay. So if it costs like $5 million with this inflation shit, let me do my math.
Carry the one.
Okay. It'll be roughly about $25 million. Yeah.
So that house would have been $25 million, and Miles only had $31,132 of his own.
That was good.
Oh shit! I see. It was automatically Terry's money for him too. ATM was for everyone.
It was for everyone. She was sick of it.
Everybody had a pen.
Yeah, she was so sick of it. She said the ATM closed. So fuck all y'all. It was like, Terri, you gotta cut it out, Terri.
That's why she picked up the knife. Like that. I was like, this nigga fucked my cousin, and I paid $25 million. I bought this motherfucker. Do you know how much a synthesizer cost? And I put that bitch in the motherfucking roof. That was supposed to be my she shed. Now let this nigga build a studio.
What, yeah? But
Lord, I gotta kill him. Can we talk about what? Fuck
you. I get it, Terri. I would have been there too, yeah. Ready to check. I would have had that knife at fucking Faith, honestly. Because she just sitting here bebopping her way, acting like everything okay.
You came to the party and went down the Soul Train line after you fucked your cousin.
And had the nerve to shake a little feather.
Girl, shake a tail feather. The fact that they all was at the party, just chilling. Y'all bold. Okay, so
let's get into
this. This is a good segue into the diagnosis. I did something a little bit different. I hope it's okay with you. No. I did not. I am treating the family here. And so instead of diagnosing most of the individual characters of the family, I am kind of looking at it more from a dysfunctional family roles, and the as well as Adlerian childbirth order for the girls as well. And because I feel like that kind of really hits at the position that they play in the family and the development of how things run between them as characters as well as them as a family. Sound cool?
Absolutely. Yes. I like it.
Okay. So I guess then we can start with Terri. My first question though with Terri is why was it okay for everybody to just take Terri men? Like they were just beating up. Just the movie starts with him, the little boy, the son, telling the story of how his mama took his dad from his auntie, and then ends with his cousin messing with his uncle and leaving his auntie. Just in that, for that reason, mostly, but lots of others. I gave Terri the dual role. She has two, because family members can play more than one role at one time, and they can switch and can change over time as well. And so I gave her the dual role of the family scapegoat as well as the family hero. Okay. And so to give a little bit more about both of those, for the scapegoat, within a dysfunctional family, the scapegoat is cast aside and blamed for the problems that very well may have nothing to do with them. Children who are scapegoated are often very aware of their role in the family and sometimes feel rejected, unlovable, and isolated. And so we see some parents use that for that child with another one. The child who is a scapegoat and the golden child are often kind of pitted against each other. And this is known as splitting. And I feel like that's what we see between Vivica Fox and Vanessa Williams. It's another way to distract from the family's actual issues. And so in therapy, and who I actually feel like we would probably be seeing initiating therapy, either on an individual level or for the family, is Terri. And the scapegoat is usually the only one in the family who is able to be honest about the issues that are going on with the family members that they are denying or unable to see. And those who are in this role often experience difficulty connecting with others on a genuine level and may self-sabotage. And we also heard that this was Terri's second marriage. This wasn't her first marriage with Miles. This was the second one that she was on. And then she also held the role of being the hero. I think this also has to do with her being the oldest child. The hero appears to be high-functioning, well-balanced individual who the family can point to as a solid example that backs up that the family is doing well. That's their facade. Like, we're okay. We got this great lawyer in our family. The hero allows the family to continue to perpetuate the notion that everything is okay, everything is fine, despite there being some issues going on with the individuals or with the entire family system. And the hero may feel a lot of pressure to carry the family's appearance of success and achievement. And they also insert themselves to help resolve familial issues, like we see with her calling Blimp and then getting them out of jail. And that's the least you could do. Because of you, I had to spend weeks in jail.
You should be thankful.
Excuse me, bitch. The hero may be drawn to relationships where their partners are emotionally unavailable to them. And they may also throw themselves in their work and experience difficulty with real intimacy. And with her being the eldest children, often feel dethroned by the next child. And because they have to learn how to share. And the parent expectations are usually higher than they are for everybody else. And which kind of makes them a little bit authoritarian and strict, where they feel that their power is right. And they can become helpful if that is encouraged into a good profession. Like with her being a lawyer, that worked for her, but it didn't necessarily work in her regular everyday life. Right. And firstborns tend to often also be type A personalities who don't give themselves any slack, which you could look at Terri and see that she was struggling with all the stuff that she had going on even before Miles and Faith started dibbling and dabbling.
I mean, he said it before, like he wanted to spend time with her. He wanted to dance with her. Like the fact that she couldn't let the guard down, the seriousness of like, oh my God, my mother is in the hospital. Yes, she's in the hospital, but you're not right now. And I'm trying to get your mind off that, you know? And so her resistance to
he said, girl,
that.
I care about you.
Okay.
I'm there for you.
So why don't you care for me?
Like I care about you.
That's it. That's it. Okay. So I definitely agree with that. Especially as far as the hero goes too. She was very quick to mention, you know, all the things that she does and has, and I'm the guardian of the estate. You know, I am this, I am that. I am the oldest child. How dare you tell me about tradition? So definitely. I can see
Maxine said, why you always got to tell everybody you pay for everything? She said, because I do.
Okay, and until somebody else start paying for shit, I'm gonna keep reminding y'all that I pay for everything. Shit.
While Terri developed some maladaptive coping, like she had a point.
She did. And here's
y'all
the thing.
Y'all gonna put some respect on my motherfucking name.
Right. No one wanted to take up that responsibility because when it came to time to talk about mama's hospital bills, they talking about Terri and Miles gonna split it.
See, that's what pushed her over the edge. That's why she grabbed the knife. She said, I can't take this shit no more like that. Why. And then we gonna talk about the family fucked my husband.
Okay. How dare you, Maxine? You of all motherfucking people.
She was trying to hold it together for the party. Like, if we had to put up this facade, it's people over. Like, I'm trying to hold it together. I'm going to go in the kitchen and be by myself, despite the fact that I know that these two fucked and they here at this party trying to just mingle with everybody else. Like, nothing is wrong. She's trying to hold up this facade and she just couldn't do it no more. She said, fuck this party. Fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck you. Who's next?
Yeah. I would have been slashing hoes. Fuck that. Not pointing and just, no.
You just would have been slicing and dicing.
Fuck that. Shoot, all of that. I mean, but okay, so the timeline of it, sorry to get us off track, but the timeline of it really, like, how was she supposed to handle this? Because it seems as though they went directly back to the house where the party was happening. And maybe they came a little later or something. And this is time throughout the event. I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to stomach it. I would have to leave. So she
hero role is what kept her there. She had to keep appearances up for all of these people.
Yes. Yeah, we are okay. We are well. Everything's fine. Everything is great. Yeah.
It's fine. That's fine. It's okay. It's fine.
It's okay. House on fire. It's fine. It's fine. Story of my life.
And she couldn't take it no more. The family fucked my husband.
That is your line.
It's so funny to me.
You're so childish. I love it.
And that's why the movie is a dramedy.
Oh my God. It was so much drama. There was hardly any laughter. Like,
you have to find it. The family fucked my husband.
2.5 seconds. That is not comedy. That's drama. It's drama.
Dramedy. You gotta find the funny in the drama. Yeah. You didn't laugh when she went up to Faith with the knife?
No, I said,
oh. I thought the story was going to the film was just going to take a dark turn. We're just then going to follow Terri through her stint in prison.
Right?
How can she use her connects to get herself out of this one?
I was like, Faith. She was trying to apologize. Like, girl, where? Get out. She told her to get out. She's still there. What you still looking at me for? Bitch, get out. Did I tell you to get out? Why you not running? I got a knife.
You better not be at my house when I get home.
Ooh, child. I would have drug her down all 13 flights of stairs to get up to the studio. She got upstairs talking about, whew.
It was a hike. She said, I'm going to build up a studio, but I bet you what I won't do, I won't get that nigga elevator. That's where I draw the line, damn it.
Like, damn, they came and everything. Like, it was done, but she got girl. That's not funny. Okay, maybe it is funny.
It's a dramedy. I'm glad I could do this for you. I'm glad I could point out
oh my God.
moments where you have to take your laughter. Hope this was what the podcast does for all of our listeners.
I hope so, because baby, we be up here clowning.
Okay, we gotta get off Terri. We've been riding Terri for a long time.
Okay, poor child. That's what the whole family do it.
Exactly. We fall. See. And that's what happens. People fall into that homeostasis and everyone will continue to function so that they maintain that level of chaos.
Look, we fit right in the family, girl. When we showing up to dinner.
You see him at the table.
Okay. At the head of the table.
Pass the peas like we used to do.
Oh, pass the peas like we used to do. Hey. Okay, so who's your next one? You gonna go with Maxine next?
Yeah, we can go with Maxine because we did talk a little bit about the golden child. And so Maxine is their golden child syndrome actually wasn't one of the original roles that they had, but more and more research and more writings have introduced and kind of accepted golden child syndrome as one of the roles that someone can play as well. And so a golden child is a child that has been deemed by their family, most often the parents, to be exceptional in one way or the other, but without a foundation for the attributed exceptionalism. Mama always said you was the most responsible one. She was the one that got pregnant as a teenager and dropped out of school and then just continued to have kids. And I don't know if she really got a job. Her husband seemed like he the only one working because she always at home taking care of the kids. But, whatever. Despite being the favorite, the golden child has difficulty differentiating and becoming their own self. They may participate in the abuse of others within the household, like Terri, in order to protect themselves. Becoming defensive when they receive criticism, because golden children are accustomed to only receiving positive feedback from their loved ones, and they struggle to accept any form of negative feedback as an adult. And with Maxine being a second child, that means that there is, from her viewpoint, there's always someone ahead of her, which makes her more competitive and want to overtake almost the older child, where then they can become a rebel or try to outdo everybody. And competition can often build up into a full-on rivalry between those two if it's not handled appropriately by the parents. And because dad was off gambling and mama was having to just clean white people's houses and take in laundry, like she said, no one was there to foster their relationship. So it developed into a rivalry.
The details that come in based on the script, I love it.
They fit these roles I want to know, did they have a consultant? Was there someone there?
Friends, my people who are in master's programs, and if you are taking the DSM class and they tell you to choose a movie, there you go. Actually, I feel like this might be what family systems. So if you
this would be a good family systems one. This would even be a good substance abuse or the addictive behaviors one. If we identify dad as the victim there, and then these are the roles that supported and surrounded him.
Yeah.
You're welcome. A+.
Yeah, you got A+, players. Hey.
That may or may not be how we came up with the idea of the podcast in the first place. But what else?
Thanks, K-Crap. What else?
Yeah, right. Fuck you, K-Crap. The family fucked my husband. Waving the knife at K-Crap. APA, fuck you too.
Okay, here they come with their new standards. Okay, I'm just kidding. How
you hoes? Get a grip.
Right.
Okay. So,
what about the caretaker role?
Oh, wait, hold on. That after Big Mama died, I feel like Maxine took on the role of the enabler. She felt like that was missing. And so then, like we said, those roles can change. Those roles can shift. There can be more than one. And so it seems like she then began to see herself moving into that place of that. Yeah. Before we get to that one, though, I did not want to leave Bird out. The lost child, you just skipped right over her because she's the lost child.
She lost. Where is she? Just kidding.
I was not expecting that. Okay, so Bird.
In the Midnight Falcons.
Okay. All right, so I gave Bird the role of the lost child. They often attempt to blend in the background as much as possible to keep themselves safe and avoid rocking the boat. They might feel a little bit ignored and scared to draw attention to themselves. Parents use them like the hero role almost to basically show everybody how great the family is doing because they're not causing no trouble. And so in a therapy session, if we were to see them as a family, Bird would probably be very quiet and not speak up unless asked to, and may even feel scared or nervous to share her observations from the family. And that goes also along with her being the youngest child, because youngest children tend to be, while the most free-spirited due to their parents, like, how
No, throw the TV like at her as you did like the first one. They kind of cool down. They get a whole lot more easier.
Right.
Their attitude towards parenting. And so they tend to also, youngest children also tend to be natural charmers, like how we saw her with Samuel, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
They tend to be outgoing, have social personalities, and may also learn to use their role as the baby to manipulate others to get their way.
She did that very
like
well.
Samuel.
I mean, he did it too. Like I don't know what his role is as far as his family systems, but he was a narcissist and a manipulator too. Especially how he came at what's his name? Lim. To basically tell him, well, I got you this food. You did not have to bring your little light skin down here. Like,
for why?
Okay. I'm glad he slapped your ass upside the head with that tray.
And stumped you out.
And gave him a good old jail yard fight, beat up, ass whooping.
That is just how he was fighting and paid in full.
The tray, though, I mean, they came straight from prison.
The same thing, paid in full. Where was Rico to come help him? Oh my gosh, that was probably his audition. They said, you know what, Makai Pfeiffer, you don't have to audition. We have this scene of you in Soul Food.
We need you to whoop his ass just like this.
That's hilarious. But I did agree. We have no real information on Samuel, but I did say that he was displaying some narcissistic personality traits, some different behaviors from the things that he was doing. My question though there is, why did they have to zoom in on his lips? For
all
why?
The time.
And he was so glossy. Like, was it gloss or was he licking them?
I felt like he licked them.
Why was the camera like just right below
nose
above the chin? Like, why?
I don't even call him by his name. He's Pink Lips. Like, that's it.
And then and if your teeth not perfect, I would have been so self-conscious.
Right. I'm like, damn. It almost felt like, is this how men zoom in on women's features? Like, we were just zoomed in on them lips. Like, why? Why is this?
I didn't understand it. Was it because he was just slick at the mouth? Were they trying to really drive that point home using symbolism? I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
I mean, I feel like that has to be it, especially to do that, to zoom in, especially when he was talking to Lamb. Like, why? Why at that moment? Why didn't they zoom in when he was talking to Bird? So, yeah.
I don't know. It was all the... Okay.
Anyway.
So you asked for the enabler, the caretaker. And damn near in this role, the martyr would be Mama Joe, Big Mama. And so the enabler caretaker attempts to keep everyone within the family happy, even if it means denying the real issues at hand. And so in their younger years, it was dad's gambling, and now it's her diabetes. No one's going to take my leg, and that's that.
It's diabetes.
Oh, okay, that. Her sugar.
Diabetes.
So
sugar.
Both... The individual taking on this role denies the experience of others from dealing with the actual issue that the family is experiencing. They continue to pick up the pieces in order to prevent a meltdown, a breakdown, or everybody from hitting rock bottom. And so while this keeps the family balanced in an unhealthy way, it actually prevents the family from healing and moving forward towards like growth, fixing the problems.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that as like a little bit of an example, especially with Faith and, with Maxine calling it out and saying, well, she always runs. And so I'm wondering, because of Big Mama, that she kind of hid behind Big Mama and would be like, protecting her, kind of getting people to get over it in a way, and moving on without addressing it. And so that allowed Faith to get that, to be able to do that, to just run away and come in, bebopping the fuck shit up, and then run away. Yeah.
I gave Faith actually a role in the child birth order kind of placement as the adopted child.
Yes.
And so when her peoples died, it sounded like they took her in for a while and until she was grown. And grown enough, I guess, to start stripping and then be discovered. And okay, whatever.
Yep.
Why
18,
the baby
17
know this? Okay. Anyway,
oh, another role there.
So Big Mama was, like you were saying, was just so thankful to have her in their home and taking care of her that they tend to spoil them, which then they're trying to compensate for the loss of that child's biological parents by like just giving. And that person may then become very spoiled and demanding. And eventually they can either idealize or resent their biological parents. So the parents that died of hers, she could either they're either Tupac in her mind, or she resents them for leaving her because there is this situation that she was now in. I think that there is a lot of Faith's constant moving behavior and seeking that approval in different places could potentially be attributed to her losing her parents. We don't know the exact way of what happened, or if it was at the same time, or if she had one and not the other. We don't have enough details to really dig into Faith. So I just gave her the role of the adopted child in the birth order of this family.
Yes, I would definitely agree. I'm also wondering, however, because she did have quite the record of, prison. She was arrested.
She was in prison? Oh yeah, she said you're gonna get arrested again.
Right.
Put up the house. Yeah, okay, you're right.
Right. She does have this rep sheet. So I'm wondering if she was
just happened one time.
Right. You're right. Okay. So what about the addict or the identified patient?
I put that as their father, and so Big Mama's husband and the girl's father, because he is unscathed in all of the situations that are going on, and they're kind of the everything is still, he's still constantly brought up. They're still using his old sayings. They're still comparing situations to his gambling addiction. Maxine starts off as great advice to Bird when they're in the hallway. She tells her that she's pregnant. Spoiler alert if you ain't seen the movie, but she starts off this is very important. You heard that man's masculinity, his view of himself as a man, that's very hurtful. But then was well, remember when daddy lost all that money? Mama didn't say nothing to him. She just did what she had to do and put it together. Somebody should have said something about the fact that he keep losing all the family's money.
The fact that she
had to hide the money from him in her brother's television.
That's some shit. That is some shit.
But then he has a behavioral addiction.
Well, yeah. I mean, he sounded like a successful businessman with them laundromats and the grocery store and such.
It sounds like his businesses were doing well. It sounds like he was squandering the profits.
Yeah, that could be the case. Because why would she have to be on her hands and knees?
Scrubbing white people floors and taking their laundry.
If you got 3 different businesses.
Business. Okay, so then I gave Ahmad the role as the mascot.
Yay. I figured.
The mascot is often the younger child who uses humor or other distracting behavior to take the focus off of the family and away from the problems of the family's dysfunction. So they might feel an immense pressure to help and step up in situations when they become tense and volatile, and they diffuse the situation successfully. That reinforces the pressure on them to continue to distract the family from their issues. Like he said,
it's not my fault, it's all y'all's fault. Y'all messed up the family. Did you see that?
I was like, oh, poor baby. It's y'all's fault.
And then with him, trying to lie that the money was being left to him to try to get everybody back together. Big Mama, there was no inclination that she was trying to tell you to get everybody back for Sunday dinner. That's just what you felt like that she was trying to tell you. And so you put that pressure on yourself, Ahmad, to make that happen. And there were often other times where, getting a little tight. And then Ahmad, get your black ass out here right now.
Right. Well, and
they said nobody get their black ass nowhere.
Okay, you making shit up. Talking about you just wanted a chance to say some black ass. Get shit.
That's what it was.
That's true Kevin Hart style. He told me, tell you.
On your damn motherfucking business, bitch. Little stupid bitch. Little dumb teaching bitch.
You ain't got no nipple.
Long titty, no nipple having ass bitch. Oh! He said she ain't had no nipples.
Damn it, I'm the mascot of my family, if you couldn't tell. They being goofy. But it is coming from a place of anxiety and trauma.
Thanks for that disclosure.
But no, seriously, because for him especially, like, you have to think of seeing your grandmother, someone that you love and have like this connection with. She died, he
died in front of you.
Yeah, and to have the complications in front of him. So he saw it twice, right? So I think that was also why he took on that responsibility of getting the family back together. It was coming from a place of anxiety and trauma. And he said he was about to lose it. Everybody in the family losing their damn minds, and he wasn't too far from losing his. So.
That's one thing that I want just the Black community to do better with, like handling and processing death of our elders. We don't do good. Like families tend to really fall apart when that happens. And even one thing that Ahmad said, like no one knew where to throw the blame except at each other. The blame is diabetes. Go fight cancer, like Kevin Hart uncle. There's no one to blame in this instance. But they're still throwing it at each other because there needs to be someone that is receiving this negativity because we don't know how to process our emotions when it comes to death and in the loss of matriarchs and patriarchs in our family.
Yes. And, I don't know if it was necessarily, what's the older sister name again? I'm missing her name. Terri. If it was necessarily her responsibility because she was the guardian of a state, but making sure that all those things were handled, so that they didn't have to go so much back and forth with each other. A plan, while she was alive, not while she's in a coma, but what's the plan, Mama? How do you want us to go about this house? How do you want us to go about handling your medical bills, your death? And honestly, like you said, we don't talk about the preparation because it seems like only when the death happens that's when we plan. We're supposed to be planning well before that,
Why do you think that is?
I think it is just we're not educated about the ways in which we should handle our finances, even down to when we're losing a loved one. And I think there is a lot of hurt when we are dealing with grief and loss in the Black community. We see it so often that it's just a trauma response to just go about, hey, let's go ahead and get the funeral arrangements and everything. Like that's just how we operate. We don't go from this place.
Who doing the
body? Let's have right. Who doing the body? Who getting this casket? Who doing it? That should be stuff that we are discussing at the Sunday dinner with everyone. Yeah.
That's my takeaway from the episode. Thanks, Dr. B.
Welcome. It's okay to have the conversation. You don't want to wait because it's a lot. When someone dies, they ask you over 60 questions about that person. And it's so much to process and input, to take in that, of course, everybody's going to have some type of emotional reaction. And usually it's anger, that misdirected hurt, basically.
Anywho, Ahmad.
The mascot who brings humor.
He does. Let's bring some humor to this moment.
I know, right? Heavy.
So I think for him, with him being the mascot and being around for all of these, I guess, tension heavy moments, he knew a lot more information than he probably should. Like, why did he know that Faith was stripping until she got discovered by some man, but then he ain't never see her in no videos? And
why he
got all the tea? This boy is 12.
You know why? Because children like him, they kind of camouflage themselves into grown folks' conversation where you kind of look up like, wait, hey, what you doing? Oh,
Just like in the kitchen when the family fucked my husband. He right by the side pouring his drink.
Right. Just so happened. Right.
The only kid at the party coming down the Soul Train line. But because he carried himself accordingly, but still was able to be in a child's role. It wasn't that he was acting older than he was. It's just that he was very observant of the things that were around him. And he was able to give, it seems like he was actually the voice of guidance for Lim a lot of times, even sharing the good advice that he did get from Big Mama, where Big Mama always say to love yourself. Maybe you should try that. Like, still, like, giving all of this. And Lim is like, you're a real confident dude to be such a shorty.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But he's like, well, Big Mama been pouring into me all of these years because I've been right next to her getting all of this wisdom.
Right. Exactly. And sometimes, for some people, it could be frowned upon to have a child that's so involved in adult conversation. But at the same time, the way he was involved, because you got to see the interactions that he's having with all these adults throughout. So Big Mama, even with Miles, he's in there helping him cook. And so he has these relationships that he's right. And so I think it's beautiful for children to be able to interact with adults in that way and not necessarily always trying to push them down because they're children. Right. And put them in their place, if you will. Like, if he wants to communicate about something, they're going to cut grandma's leg off. Yeah, that's a real hard conversation, baby. You want to talk about it.
And that's how Terri kind of approached it. She was like, you're worried about her, aren't you? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, and then was just honest with him.
I don't know.
So it seems like they weren't sugarcoating things for him. They were handling him appropriately. And too, we have to remember that this is the 90s and he's living in Chicago. And so like when we see him walking down, like he's just walking down the street with his friends, like there is a certain level of grow up that has to happen a little bit earlier for kids that live in cities like that, where you have to navigate situations and that other places don't have to handle in that way. So I was well adjusted to me.
He was.
He just like he if he doesn't learn how to manage all of the things that he is taking in, it potentially could. The humor could then be coming from a place of anxiousness. It could be coming from a place of uneasiness, uncertainty because of the things going on around him. But it seems like because he does have so many supports and he is able to communicate and people are always constantly feeding into him and giving him skills. And it seems like each person is trying to give him their best. My prognosis for Ahmad is great.
Same. I agree. Yeah. I think he's going to end up being the caretaker, however. I know. I mean,
hopefully it's no longer a dysfunctional, like he can end that intergenerational problem of dysfunction.
Because
he's hoping for his future.
He's too young to be financially responsible for all of these adults. Like but he can.
I don't know. They got Uncle Pete TV money now.
They do, right? That's true. So I think my only thing was like to be, if I worked with him, for him to understand these roles and dynamics in his family and how to prevent from, being absolved in various roles, including the role of caretaker, because sometimes caretaker can be a synonym for the glue that holds the family together.
And that's my concern for him, especially with his mom being like how she is, and her even in trying to give advice is really just maintaining the function systems that they have in place. And so I don't want her to then push that into him that this is how he has to be. I hope that she allows him to find how he handles and navigates things, because a lot of times when you try to break up that homeostasis with families, something else will come in and pull everything back down. And so I hope that they allow him that space for him to grow and develop into his own self.
That's great.
Hopefully he just becomes one of those cool dudes that's like, my family is a little, like when he bring his woman over, my family, it's a little like, be careful how you talk to my aunt. And
don't give
the Reverend all of my mom's food and smile. Like, don't hug the Reverend because he's a dirty old man.
Be careful.
But the way that he laid out everybody's tea at this age and narrated the whole movie, I do think that he'll be able to have those skills as he continues through life too. So I see that being good for him.
Yeah.
I did not diagnose Miles, Kenny, or Lim because to me, they really were just the partners who were helping continue the function of the family. Like they literally, like these women who are in these roles in this family went out and found people that would continue to function in their level of what they have going on, and they support and maintain that. And so I did not diagnose them at all. Maybe Lim problems due to incarceration.
Because he was just trying to find his way. He wanted to do it on his own. He didn't want to be helped by his woman because it felt like if I get my woman to help me find a job, then that makes me less of a man. So a lot of it was systemic issues, identity issues for him that he had to work through. But other than that, I don't really, which would make someone angry, right? And so, or depressed. And I think a lot of times people see depression as just being sad, but sometimes depression can actually be irritability and anger. So perhaps that was maybe where he was, and being depressed that I can't provide my family something. I don't know.
Possibly, but I'd be angry after I had to whoop Samuel's ass too. And then y'all sent your cousin Blip, and when I'm drunk, and then that's that thing. And
you're right.
And you got on this gold bracelet. I couldn't afford to take us to the movies last week. And you got this gold bracelet on.
Did you
this
know?
Nigga. Like
that bracelet was actually worth $15,000.
Oh my God! And she threw it on the floor.
Yep. She said, "Fuck that bracelet."
This bracelet don't mean shit. This ain't nothing.
She took it. What they didn't film was that she picked it back up, dusted off, made sure one broke, and put it somewhere where I'm gonna pawn this later.
As she should have done from the beginning, Bird. Why were you wearing it? You should have pawned it immediately.
But she's the type of girl that wears Chanel sandals around the house. So, I mean, really, it was a lot of pressure for him to keep up with that.
Exactly. And so there's that. Poor Lim. I feel so bad for Lim.
I take it back. That man was not depressed. He just had a lot going on.
Yes, he had a lot of external factors that were weighing upon him. But what I did appreciate is that it didn't fully allow itself to wreak at his self-esteem because his self-image rather. It did pick at a little bit of his self-esteem with him wanting to be able to provide and him viewing himself in that role, but his self-worth, because each time that something good for him was going on, he was like, "Cause I'm the man." They knew that I knew that I was the best dude in there.
Shut up.
McCarthy was so fine when he was your sergeant. I liked it.
I know. He was so fine. I mean, you are the man with your little bird chest.
Best smile ever. Okay, and so the only other person then that I did diagnose or even consider in this conceptualization was Uncle Pete. And we know we did not get much from him, just considering probable major neurocognitive disorder due to Alzheimer's disease with behavioral disturbances, with him not leaving his room for that sustained amount of time. And I would just like to say that the family ain't shit, because they did not tell Uncle Pete that Mama Joe was dead. They didn't even let Uncle Pete come to the funeral.
I was so confused, but I said, wait, so he didn't go to the funeral at least? Y'all didn't get that man?
I didn't even tell the man that she died.
You didn't even think it was enough to go up there. I understand he might not be in his right mind.
But you didn't try.
Put some clothes on, Uncle Pete. Right. Put some clothes on, Uncle Pete. We got to go. We got to go somewhere very important. Well, okay. Now, here's the other perspective.
Did they just forget that Uncle Pete was up there?
No, I feel like the other perspective is that sometimes people who are dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's sometimes have difficulty when they hear of a loss or death. And so that could be why maybe that information.
So you think they took that into consideration and as a unit decided that they wasn't going to tell Uncle Pete while they weren't even speaking to each other?
That is just another perspective.
Okay, we're going to assume the best for them. And we're going to assume that Maxine and Bert had this conversation when they stayed at the restaurant after Terri said sorry and left. And so maybe they had that conversation. They decided that
gonna tell.
Yeah.
No, that was after Mama died. I don't know, Rosie.
That's tough. Like, that's his sister.
We'll assume. So, we'll assume that they decided as a unit that they weren't going to tell him.
Yeah. Thanks.
I would also like to know, how in the hell was the TV working when it was chock full of money?
Maybe that's why he brought it down. He's like, I'm in my right mind again. The TV not working. And he brought it down and said, hey, help me with TV. Or he knew that the money was in there. It was just a facade. It was just like, maybe he had a bunch of TVs in his room and that was just one that held something. He was actually watching the one. And when he heard that fire, he left the room with the TV. Like, I'm going to get the fuck up out of here.
Like, I smell smoke. Let me get the TV and go. I like that one.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Really out to know to, hey.
I know where the money is. I got it.
Get my stuff and go. Downstairs. He had a color TV. That was his old black and white that the money was hidden.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. That's my theory. Stick it to it.
Why did they make Terri sit down and have that meal with Faith and Miles at the table?
That's trash. I mean, because that's how the family dynamic is.
That's how they do Terri.
That's how they do Terri, man. That's the continual abuse, that everybody just allow. But then she allows it too. Like, ma'am, you don't have to stay here.
No.
But at the same time, it's like, but this is my family. Y'all
this is my family house. Y'all can leave.
Y'all get the
Let her go if she want to.
Okay, I know that's right. I ain't going nowhere.
Is that what it was, Miles? I didn't take care of you.
I would make everybody else feel uncomfortable. Fuck that. Y'all, I'm gonna make you feel so uncomfortable that you gonna have to leave because I ain't going nowhere. Miles, is that what it is? Shit. And he feels so comfortable that he still come back even though they got a divorce. It's the audacity for me. It is what it is.
Why is he allowed? But like this, unless Terri is maybe she's just, but she's not that evolved. Why does she allow it, Lord? Because she don't know no better. This is how she's been treated her whole life. Both thing
didn't even know.
The only time she received a validation and respect for her worth is at work.
Right. And for the money that she's able to contribute.
And they about to make her partner.
Right. I mean, we know all the D's because of Ahmad. Like, thank you. Thank you so much. Because of you, we were able to diagnose your whole family. And he turned it into a film. We appreciate you.
Shout out to the writer who of this film, who basically was Ahmad and is told the story of some of his family experiences through this film. Which is why I think Ahmad knew so much tea, because this grown man was Ahmad.
That had to be the case, babe, because I mean, I still don't be knowing
a little
things.
bit what was going on, but I didn't know what was going on. Like, my Ahmad know what's going on.
No, he know. I'd be like, dang. People be asking me, so you know what? I'd be like, I don't know.
What? And then what happened? And so that's why they stopped coming around.
Oh, I'm just now learning things as an adult. Like, oh, that makes sense. Oh my God.
Terri held it together though.
Because
I would have busted, like, Ahmad just would have saw these two naked people having sex and it would have ruined his sexual development, because I don't know if I could have just nope, we gotta go. Nope, turn around. Nope, go back. I aspire to that level of planning and
tact,
aware presence of mind.
Yes.
That's where I practice mindfulness regularly to get there.
Oof.
My end goal. That's what it looks like when I arrived. Solution focused.
I be doing meditations and shit. I still ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I've come a long way from my anger, but shit me. That one ain't gonna be easy.
The presence of mind to be like, I don't want my nephew, this little boy, to see these two people having sex. Like,
let me try to put myself. Nope, can't do it. I tried and I can't. I can't.
Like maybe maybe I'll just sit him back downstairs. Like, hey, matter of fact, I need you to go back down and go get my shoe. I can't make it back down them stairs. You see how heavy I'm breathing now? Go back down there.
Go get my shoe. Go get me something to whoop this bitch.
Go give me the remote. Something.
Go get my belt. Mom would be like, I didn't do that. No, not for you. Go get my belt.
Like Major Payne. Go get my field knife.
I'll go in that room swinging that shit. Like just knocking all things. Listen, honey. That had to have been a clip that had been seen a few times. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they recorded that a few times, or maybe that was a script. That had to have been a script.
She saved it until that moment.
It was either then or there. You know what I'm saying?
I think I don't see any problem with the way that she handled it.
I would do it in my house because was them in my house. You can't say shit. Now you got me acting out of personality or out of character in front of other people. Okay, now I'm pissed. So
now my business is in the street.
Now my business is in the street.
Know that Faith fucked my husband
because the record literally was like, because she ran up into that shit.
Miles probably tripped over it on his way running out the house.
The comedy.
I cannot. If you would like to support the show to help us get more content out to you all, please buy our merch, or you can visit our website and follow the support the show link to become a Patreon member or donate on our Cash App. Now, we're happy to get the kind of money that jingles, but we would rather the kind that folds. As always, be sure to follow us on Instagram at the DSM Podcast, and you can subscribe to our show wherever you get podcasts. While you're there, go ahead and leave us a comment because we are counselors and actually care about what you have to say. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Okay, bye. You cinephile.